lot. Let me tell you, not a lot. There's not a lot good right now. Chargers fall to the Giants. The 0-3 Giants coming into the game against the 3-0 Chargers. I'm your host, Booga Peters. This is Bolt Blitz Uncut, joined by my co-host, Robert Gibson. Buck D. Buck, man, this was not the outcome we were obviously hoping for, nor what we expected. When a 3-0 Chargers team plays the Giants, whether it's in New York, in San Diego, in Temecula, on the moon, you would hope that there would be a game plan in place both offensively and defensively that would allow the team to find a way to be successful here, but it was quite the opposite. Offensively and defensively, they struggled. They lose 21-18 to the Giants. Your thoughts on the game overall, and just this is not what we were thinking going into this game as a 3-0 Chargers team.
Coming off a loss. I had no idea we were coming off the show coming off a loss because we haven't lost to the Giants in the last 5 meetings. There's 5 games.
5 in a row it was, wasn't it?
5 in a row. And that game was the first half was the ugliest half of football that I've seen.
It was a tough watch.
That I've seen the Chargers play in a long, long time. And I have to say this. We looked a little finesse, man. We looked light in the ass. We looked light in the ass the entire game. And it's like we have so much to talk about. And it's the things that we've been kind of talking about before, but this week it came to bite us in the ass.
No, you nailed it too. And the finesse part is really where I'm going to start. The sloppy first drive, it felt like eyes were forward to the next game already on that first drive. The McConkey drop, Ladd did not have his best game of the year. And we're not going to pick on him too much. But as we start to dissect this game, we're going to talk about that a little bit. Chargers first drive, nasty. Punt time. That was the theme of the Chargers offense more often than we would have liked it to be. Giants get the ball. Very first play, PI on Tarheeb Still. Tarheeb had a phenomenal game overall. He was a guy who was there, but he also had a couple times where he got caught. Right. Him and Neighbors, prior to Neighbors going out with an injury, it was a very interesting battle. We're watching this first quarter develop. The Giants are continuing to move the ball. The Chargers really didn't have an answer for Scatterbull at all early. He was continuing to grind out yards, and the more that I watch it, it's like, okay, when is Jackson Dart going to be the next guy to take off? What do you know? He's starting to carve up that offense via the run as well. It didn't. I'm not prepared to say that it felt as though the Chargers defense was unprepared, because I refuse to believe that Jesse Minter defense would ever be unprepared. But Buck D, I know you were watching what I was watching, and there had to be part of you that was saying, what the fuck is going on out there, man?
They looked light in the ass. The Giants came out. They knew, hey, we know our strengths. We know our weaknesses. We're going to play to our strength. And what they were doing, the first downs, they were getting 5-6 yards every first down, making it so easy for a rookie quarterback to move the change each and every time. And they didn't have to move the chains much on his arm. It was on the leg. It was on the rushing. It was his legs. Scatterboo was running, and it made our defense tired. You could see they were tired, and we looked light in the ass. They were taking it straight smash mouth football, and it hurt. It hurt watching it because it's like we're getting dominated by the weakest offense. They're not. They weren't doing anything special. They were just running it right down.
No. Okay. So hold on. Let me cut you off there. Only to piggyback off of what you were starting to get into. You might have said it better than me, but I'm going to try to take this anyway. They were not doing anything special. This is not anything that the Jesse Minter defense has never seen. There's not anything that the defenders along that defensive front, the linebacking core, or the secondary had never seen. They were just doing it better than that. Decrepit, broken down. Who knows what the hell the offensive line is going to look like next week, Buck D.
Oh, my God.
Austin Deculus is now your starting left tackle. What were your initial thoughts when you saw Alt hop on that cart and get off the field?
I was like, that cart was out there way too damn fast for it.
Busy. They were ready.
Oh, and it's, and he comes out with the walking boot on, and we don't want to speculate anything. Hopefully it's nothing too crazy, but it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good.
It doesn't look good, but let me say this though. The boot that he had on is a cam walking boot.
Yeah.
My concern that I would put out there to the people who know anything about me, and they're like, wait a second, cam walking boot. That's what Booga had. Booga had how many Achilles tears? Oh, that's right, just 3 and a partial. So that's not to suggest it's an Achilles thing, but I will say it's the exact boot I had on. I would just imagine it's significantly longer. I only wear a 10.5, 11. I'm not whatever size that Joe Alt wears. Listen, this Chargers offense, there was a lot of grief and a lot of pain when we heard that Rashawn Slater was going down.
Right.
But you had a guy like Alt, like an all-pro in the making before he might have been an all-pro in the making in high school for all we know. But he had played enough, obviously, at left tackle at Notre Dame to where he was going to be comfortable enough to do that to some degree in the NFL, and he was excelling. So to see him be one of the guys that befell injury tonight, beyond frustrating. It feels Chargerific. It feels like the Chargering thing, but not in the regard of the way that the things end up in the outcome, though. Tonight's game, that might be Chargering, but losing Alt, huge deal. There aren't a lot of good guys out there. There's nobody who's willing to say, hey, we're going to get rid of our phenomenal left tackle right now. What do the Chargers do? And is this just a hold tight and see what you can do with the glue that you already have within?
Well, first thing that I see that we have to do, we have to change up the way that we're coaching the offensive side. We have to change it because I don't like to say this. They outcoached us. We got outcoached.
Oh, I know. And Harbaugh should have felt it the whole game too.
This is the first game where I can legitimately say Harbaugh got outcoached. And going forward with the way that our line looks, first of all, we don't even know if Becton's going to be back. We still don't know. He should be, but we don't know. So we're looking at three huge pieces on the line that are just one's maybe, but the other two not looking good at all. But we already know. He's in the boot. We already know.
Slater gone.
Slater's gone. Becton maybe. So with that being said, we have to change up how we're running the offense. We can't be, all right, we're not running the ball, but let's do play action. That shit did not work.
No, man. That's that North Turner shit. No, man. If you're not running the ball effectively, play action is just a waste of time. Yeah. But that being said, my favorite player from this entire draft class prior to even being drafted by the Chargers, and I just have to pump myself up a little bit because it's been a bad evening, if I'm being quite honest, a bad afternoon seeing the Chargers lose 21-18, but my favorite draft prospect was Omarion Hampton, and I'll tell you right now, if you did not see what I saw tonight, then you're not going to appreciate what I already expected him to do, and that's exactly what he did tonight. Even in a losing effort, when you see that type of output, that type of production, Buck, I think it's undeniable. This is a special running back. And even though it's only week 4 and it does come in a game that they lose, I think he justifies his selection in the first round.
Oh, yeah. So he's the perfect mixture, power, speed. And then the third part is what I love. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He can catch the ball. We've also seen him do a little pass protection as well. So this game, hopefully going forward, we got to get him touches. We have to give him the ball. We have to give Herbert some type of relief. We can't come out of the gate, first play of the game, thinking we're just going to do a play action, but only run 4 rushing plays the entire first.
I know, and then expect to play action and play out. Buck, here's the deal, man. it's going to be hard for any of us, I think, here for too long to really be too critical of the coaching staff, because it's week 4. We're a month into this season, and yeah, there's a lot of shit that can happen. There's plenty of time, until we get to playoff time. But boy, those bodies up front, they're running out of them. This offensive line is decimated. It was, you pay Rashawn Slater more than any old lineman ever. And, of course, in Charger fashion, he'll be out within the next 10 days. And then he's done for the entire year. This Alt injury, I'll tell you something. The way he came off the field, and I don't even want to say this, but I will say that I think that he's going to try to find a way to come back way sooner than he should.
Yeah.
Hope that doesn't end up being a long-term detriment to his career. But Alt's built that Alt family. They're built a little different. His father was an O lineman for KC as well. They're very blue-collar, hardworking people, despite the fact that they have an NFL lineage. I expect Alt to do whatever he can to get back as soon as he can. I do want to do something because we've kind of we've taken a little bit of time to fuck with the offensive line for all the reasons that we should, especially those backups. Zion Johnson had a good game tonight.
Yeah, he did.
Listen, there are going to be people who are going to pick out a few plays because I know exactly which ones they'll be. But that being said, he had a better game than I would have expected, especially considering a large portion of it he played with Austin Deculus next to him. With these bodies and this offensive line breaking down, Buck, I think something that's important for you, me, and everybody else in the Bolt fam and Charger land to do is to be a little patient.
Yep.
Not just with Justin Herbert, not just with the offensive lineman, but with Greg Roman too.
Yeah.
They're going to be piecing a lot of things together or trying to be an effective offense. Well, they don't necessarily have starting caliber players in those roles. Do you think that Greg Roman can do this? But if you don't think that he can do it, do you think that the fact that Justin Herbert is number 10 and he is who Justin Herbert is, can he overcome that? And can this Chargers offense still be successful?
I think it can be successful with a couple of little tweaks because we've seen what the offense looks like when we run the 3 tight end set. I think we have to just bring it in a little bit, make sure that we're giving Herbert the most protection as possible because, look, I think there's not too many injuries that we can overcome, but if he gets injured, we're done. And he's taking way too many hits. It's not even the sacks. It's the hits. When he's throwing the ball away, when he has to scramble around, when he does do the play action and he's turning around and the defensive end's in his face. Like we have to hone in that play calling, man. Look, injuries happen, like you said. We have to work with what we have to work with. And if that means we can't run the offense that we thought we could run when we have all of our horses, that's what it's
It felt like it was going to be hot. No, forgive me for kind of cutting in. We're watching this entire game, and kudos to Herbert for everything he did. That there's no lack of fight. There's no giving up. There's no I can't get this done in that guy. And for the Bolt fam and all the Charger fans out there that are listening right now, there's literally not a quarterback that I would pick above 10. Not in the way that he attacks the game, not in the way that he literally can make every throw, period. And just in case you haven't noticed so far this season, when he's healthy, there are so many things that he can do with his legs. We saw a little bit of that tonight too. Let's move forward to somebody whom is definitely not going to get a lot of credit considering the Chargers loss. Quentin Johnston. Buck D, man, we're not shy about talking about the fact that QJ has been his best plays have been in broken coverages. His best and most athletic looking highlights have been those in which he's put on a drag, a slant, something intermediate, but the narrative is getting a little sleepy.
Yes.
He's not tired,
yes,
but a little bit sleepy that Quentin Johnston can't make plays. He still struggles when that ball's thrown right to him, when it's on a line and he's running a 9 or anything real deep without him being able to stop, turn around and put his hands up. But is the Charger fan base, and maybe even me and the rest of this show, a little too tough on QJ?
They're too tough, man. I told you last week, QJ stands for quit judging. Like that play right before the half, he does not make that play last year.
He doesn't.
He had someone over the top. He had someone in front of him. Herbert put that ball perfectly right on him. Not only did he make the play, he made the catch. He made it into a touchdown. And this is something we've been seeing for the first month of the season. Now, I think, and some people might not like this, because I am a what have you done for me lately person. Ladd McConkey is starting to make me nervous. He's starting to make me a little nervous right now. It seems like his head is really not in the game since he's not the super focal point. Now it's more spread out. And it's like,
oh man, I got something for you. Hold on.
He's making me
about this 2 weeks ago.
Making me nervous.
And it should. And here's why. And we talked about, again, 2 weeks ago, a lot of targets to a lot of different guys. Ladd last year, after being the only guy to have a good game against the Texans in the playoffs.
Great.
And wide receivers or anybody at that level who's used to getting the ball, they're not getting the ball anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Ladd is not seeing the targets. I believe he's third out of Quentin Johnston, Keenan Allen, and himself.
Yep.
It felt like some of that today.
Yes.
It was a bit too symbolic and a bit too problematic for me to see Ladd drop that first pass that was thrown his way.
Yeah. In a big situation early at that.
And for the dumb fucks out there, I'm not suggesting it did it on purpose. What I'm saying is when you're a guy like Ladd McConkey who carried this team as a wide receiver, and then you bring in a Keenan Allen to come back, who they decided, no, we'd rather go with you, Ladd. You do what you do, and blah, blah, blah. And again, this is a show that seriously goes after everybody who was too absolutely unintelligible to understand the fact that, Keenan Allen and Ladd can be very successful, especially in a Greg Roman offense. We see you out there. I'm not pulling anybody's names out of a hat there, but it's real obvious. The fact that y'all didn't think that Keenan Allen could do what he always has done in a Greg Roman offense while Ladd McConkey is there as well, that is on you, and you should shame yourselves. I won't do it for you. You should do it for yourselves. Ladd is going to be fine. He is not fine right now, I don't think. I would be all kinds of lit up considering his lack of targets. And then after he dropped that first one, I was like, that's not exactly a great movement towards your case. QJ, who also had a drop. Keenan, who also had a drop. Though they're receiving more targets, I love our top three. It comes to that wide receiving core. But it's not just that they do a little bit of some different things, but Keenan can get open against anybody. Ladd is a legitimate 4-3 guy. Oh, by the way, Quentin Johnston, as much as we want to hate on him, he's getting open against guys over and over again.
Yes.
Patrick Surtain, let me throw this out there for anybody who's not paying attention. Out of the first 5 targets at Patrick Surtain that they had while Quentin Johnston was the target, he caught 4 balls, 87 yards and a touch.
Yeah.
Not too bad. The week before, by the way, the Bengals went after him too. Maybe Surtain was a product of the system he had early. I'm not suggesting that overall, but I need y'all to really give Quentin Johnston a little bit of respect here because he's been playing his ass off. And it's hard for me to do that. But Buck, you see what Quentin Johnston's doing. You saw him run his ass off, work his ass off after the catch. Should Charger fans kind of chill out on him moving forward?
Yeah, because the what he's done so far, it speaks for itself. He's done the work. The confidence is there. You can see the confidence is there. And once all 3 of them get on the same page, because I still haven't seen the game where it's like all 3 of them. It's just, and it's coming.
That synchronicity, I'm so glad you said it that way. It is coming.
It's coming.
So how much longer do you feel comfortable waiting for that to kind of transpire and kind of really be that kind of natural fruition, ingration to it?
Well, I think it's a twofold thing. It's how we can work with what the offensive line that we do have, and also the play calling. Like if we look back to that first game, that game to me was the best offensive play calling game we've had so far. We would put Keenan and Ladd on the same side. Once we get back to that, but it all hinges on if the O-line gives us time to get back to that. Because we're doing it at levels. We're doing it at, you got the short routes, the intermediates, and the deep routes, every single play, and it's interchanged with those three guys. If he doesn't have the time to do it, it's a moot point, though.
Well, and here's the deal. This is not an indictment on Joe Ortiz, Jim Harbaugh. Shit, we're not even going to take random strays at Tom Telesco. This Chargers offensive unit right now, the offensive line especially, beat the fuck up, out of commission. It's going to be very interesting to see what the Chargers do moving forward. You can't run with what you have, despite the fact that Omari and Hampton had a big game.
I have a question for you. I have a question for you, though.
Hit me.
Going from what you've seen, the progression of Hampton so far, from what you've seen, would you like to see the O-line be put in a position where they're just blocking downhill instead of trying for 75% of the game be back on their heels, looking every which way and see who's coming at Herbert?
Bucky set me the fuck up for a very nice turn of gesture, if you will. Here's the deal. The Greg Roman offense is really built around being able to do that. I kind of love and hate the fact that I really don't know what the Greg Roman offense is this year. It's not that he's never done anything like this. It's not that. I don't know that too many people are being truthful when they say, yeah, it's a pass-first offense. Mm-hmm. I don't think anybody thought that. And the way that they are really building the game is through Herbert. I guess when you pay somebody $52.5 million a year, that should be the way that you do that. But that being said, I cannot tell people enough, and I'll scream from the top of every mountaintop I can. Omari Hampton is special. He's going to figure it out. Give him a minute. Give him a minute. And it's less about this is going to sound so stupid. For me, about Hampton, it's less about the actual playing of the game in the football field. It's everything else. He's just he seems like kind of a reserved, quiet guy. Yeah. And once he kind of figures all that other garbage out, it won't matter. But we saw tonight, I saw tonight a very special back. The guy that literally, we've all seen my post, my favorite prospect in the entire draft is Omari Hampton. And lo and behold, he ends up being a Charger. And let me tell you, there is not a time in my life where I will forget to remind y'all that was my call because I'm just that kind of guy. Listen, they're 3-1. It's not the end of the fucking world. The Chargers are not, oh no, it's the end of the world. They're not going to do anything from here on out. They went through the first quarter of the season. They finished 3-1. Did we expect the loss to come against the Giants? No, Buck. 3-0 in the division. If there was a game to lose, is this an okay game to lose when you go 3-0 in the division?
Well, that's the good thing. That's the silver lining, because I've been trying to think about it. I was like, what's the good thing that we could take from this? And the good thing is this. It lets them know it doesn't matter who the hell is across that field. You can always take that L. Don't stop looking at the press clippings, online talk, read, oh, we're the best. I'm not saying that's what happened, but I think a lot of us did. We did. I know I did. I can admit.
I did not. I've been in this shit for too long. Fuck no. I was terrified about this game.
I did, because I was like, Jackson Dart, no way. No way this guy's coming in. And
when you don't have a lot of tape on these young QBs that can actually move, it gets weird, man. And Minter didn't call a bad game. It's just he clearly was not ready for what the Giants said. Like, we're going to let him kind of do what he wants to do. And I don't even know that Giants fans were prepared for that, because they really allowed him to make a lot of decisions that I really wouldn't have expected them to allow him to make. And hey, kudos to him. He played a good game. Props to you, young man. Be careful slaying out here in the Pontiac, Michigan area. I ain't trying to get any competition out here, man. Buck D, you watch this Chargers defense. That pass rush, they're trying to get there. They're trying to get there. Thule, 3 first half sacks. I joke with the group chat. He's going to finish the game with 3 sacks total, and what do you know, he does. It's weird how Minner can kind of dial shit up early, yet still give up points. And then you watch in the second half, guys like Thule, though they can get pressures and put up random box score numbers. This lack of an overall pass rush that gets home, how concerned are you about that moving into the second quarter of the season?
I have to. My concern will go off of the quarterbacks that we see. I have to make sure and go and look, because from what I can tell and what I've been telling with this defense the last couple of seasons, we have problems with quarterbacks who can scramble. We have problems, and we saw it today. We saw it a little bit with Bo Nix. Like, the problem is, if we face one of those athletic quarterbacks where he's not 5-step, 3-step drop, got to get rid of the ball, things like that, and he's able to improvise, our defense, man, I don't know what it is. Those guys feast on us. They do. And, you know, we got Mahomes. Mahomes does it to us every single game.
Oh, I know. I'm sick of it.
Every single game, but I don't think it's going to be an issue going forward, because this game, this is how I view this game. This game is going to open a lot of those players' eyes. It's like, you know what? Either we're for real, or if we're not for real, we better get for real, because there's no way they should have lost this game. And
Buck, hey, Buck, if you're Derwin James, what the fuck is he saying in that locker room? I mean, are you shitting me? Yeah, I mean, if anybody's chewing him up, it's got to be him, right?
Definitely, it's got to be him. It's got to be him. And
hold on. So let me give you the flip side, and then Kerry. Or is he just so rah that it's just like, oh, we'll figure it out, guys?
Nah. That's what we'll hear on TV. That's what we'll hear in the interviews. That's not what they're hearing in that locker room. Because
that would not be.
No. And you got to give props to the Giants, because also the way they ran the offense, they kind of took Derwin out of the game to where our defense had to just, you know what, Derwin, forget back there, get your ass up close to the line of scrimmage, disrupt some stuff, because it took too long for us to even notice Derwin was in the game, and that had to do with the way that they were running their offense.
Oh, they schemed around it for sure. One of the things that was the most frustrating for me, both offensively and defensively, the penalties.
Oh,
this is a Jim Harbaugh team. This is supposed to be a very disciplined, we're in line, we follow the rhetoric of the law team. The number of penalties, I don't even know what the final tally was. I know we were at 10 at one point.
We hit 14, I believe. 14.
Oh, God. Yeah. So obviously, I don't know about you, but when it comes to the way that I envision a successful recipe to win games, it does not include double-digit penalties, much less 14. It was pretty bad tonight, both offensively and defensively. Your confidence moving forward with Roman on offense, and then, of course, Mentor on defense, being able to get these guys to shape up and get the shit in line.
I think it goes all the way to the top. Harbaugh's going to be the one, first of all. The shit's going to roll from the top all the way down. And it looked like our guys were super undisciplined. It looked like, to be honest, a lot of them wasn't really focused on the game, like you said. It felt that way. Nope, jumping off sides, the holding penalties, the personal fouls. It was like, what are we doing? Especially against a team like the Giants, because if you would have thought, okay, there's going to be a team that has 14 penalties, definitely wouldn't have been us. So hopefully that gets taken care of, because on top of everything else, the penalties is something that we can have control.
You have control.
Yeah.
So you're good at this. You kind of beat me to where I was going. When it comes to a team that's as beat up as the Chargers, I mean, are you shitting me? Austin Deculus has been there, what, a month?
Yeah.
He's barely fucking broken a sweat since he's gotten there, and now he's starting games at left tackle.
Yeah.
The blindside protector of Justin Herbert, your $52.5 million man. Listen, I'm not saying the Chargers deserve this, especially the fans. They definitely do not. But Ortiz, you sat there and you watched this interior O-line of Zion Johnson and Bradley Bozeman. You watch what they did last year and what they didn't do. And you said, let's run it back again, and then we're going to flirt with fans, and we're going to flip them back and forth, and we're going to say Zion's trying out his center, and Zion's doing this. And Zion, by the way, had a good game for the most part. But when you have a guy like 10, when you have like that real special commodity, I've never seen a Chargers player well, I don't need to go that far. I've never seen a Chargers quarterback that has all the special commodities and tools.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. When we're building that shit in Madden, you think it's not 6'6"? You think it's not 250? You think it's an 89 in speed? 99 throw power. Come on. That's that cat. You look at this offense. You look at this team. They all buy into Herbert. I feel like they buy into the message that's being sent. But you watch this game. You watch them losing to an 0-3, who are now a 1-3 team, the Giants. How do they rebound, and do you expect them to move forward favorably? Or is there a chance that they kind of slowly let this get bad?
No, I think with the earlier regimes, the earlier seasons, yes. I think now we have the right people at the top that this won't happen. Because there's two things. I said, we can control the penalties. We can also control the turnovers. Even though, I will say this, because a lot of people are going to look at the box score and be like, oh, Herbert threw 2 INTs. Hold up, pump the brakes. We got to look at those INTs, man. That first one was an incredible play.
Oh, I know.
Dexter, that was an incredible. I didn't see that it was an interception until they showed the replay and slow.
Man, that dude weighs like 360.
Yes. And
that's
then
insane.
The second one, where we had the offensive pass interference, where we ran the rub route, knocked off McConkey. That was more of a timing thing, because look, the offensive line has already been smoked. We got 10 back there. He's thinking
that group of guys has never played together in that fashion before, period.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, I'm not worried about that. Going forward, take care of the ball, and the penalties will be okay. It's always going to be next man up. We can't sit here and cry about, but such and such is hurt, and such and such is hurt. Every team has injuries. You just hope your main guys don't get injured. We got a couple of main guys that are injured, but I think we have enough coaching and we have enough people that we can plug in, and we still have enough stalwarts on both sides of the ball. We can go forward.
Well, and so I agree with that too. So with eyes moving forward, because here's the deal. I'm ready to forget the fuck out of this game. I don't need to think about this game. Yeah, you're already off it. I'm with you. I'm moving forward. This running offense, Omari and Hampton. I hope he showed you enough tonight. He showed me what I already knew that he was capable of doing. But I'll tell you right now, when you start to plug in random bodies and sign guys off the street, it's a little easier to try to figure out the run game.
Yes.
Especially when you're Greg Roman. Than it is to establish some elaborate pass game with tackles that, good Lord, aren't necessarily the ones that you'd like to see being the guys that protect the blind side or opposite side of your boy, Justin Herbert. But Chargers lose tonight, 21-18. We're not too concerned. It's sloppy. It sucks. You cannot lose those kind of games, but even great teams lose to teams that they should not lose to. If you were to try to button down or figure out your biggest concern moving forward, whether it be a position group or just the team as a whole, what would it be, and how do you think they address that moving forward?
Okay, so with me, I've been talking about it the whole show. The play calling, it has to change. That has to change with what we have, and we got to work with what we have. The second, I need Hampton. He gives Hampton the ball 25 times a game, man.
Give it
And I don't
35 times. I'm with it.
and that's just rushing the ball. I'm not even talking about coming out and doing the swing passes, but
Oh, and he can catch everything too, by the way. Solid receiver out of the backfield.
he is a load. You can see he's not easy to take down. You can't catch him. We got to give him the ball. We have to let him, take over some of this offensive load from Herbert, because all that's going to do is help Herbert in the end. It's going to help him.
So I actually got a text at the very end of the game when it was already over and the score had been decided. And I'm not going to say who it was from, but it's a former Charger offensive lineman. And he basically said, listen, run that boy like they did Tomlinson.
Yes.
Give him all the touches. And if you have not seen enough already to realize that he's going to be something special in between the tackles and especially outside the tackles, because once he gets going, man, that's a load to tackle. That's not a small dude. That's his lower base, man. That's some thickness. I'm not trying to get in there. I am if I'm getting paid right, but not for fucking free. We look at this. Listen, it's not the happiest day for Chargers fans. For those of you who counted this as a dub, that's on you, and you're part of the problem. But the Chargers played down historically to their opponents, and this felt like one of those weeks a little bit. It's not like they were unprepared. It just felt like they were off enough for long enough to where they just couldn't overcome not just themselves, but what was an interesting officiating crew and in a Giants offense that they really didn't have a lot of answers for. Right. Jackson Dart presented a lot of question marks and things that they weren't necessarily ready to kind of integrate into their defensive play calling. When I look at my notes for this game, so many penalties. You have to clean up the penalties. Buck D, whether it's Minter or Roman, this is a Jim Harbaugh team.
Yes.
You were surprised at the number of penalties.
Yeah, I was. I was really surprised. And it's not the number of penalties, it's when we got the penalties. They were in key situations.
The inopportune times in which they occurred, a lot of big ones.
Yeah, and that's what bothered me. It was like, what are we doing out here? Are we not focused on who we are and who's in front of us and what's happening? The bleeding was so slow. It was like we could stop this bleeding if we just right the ship. If we right the ship, if we stop doing these dumb penalties, we'll be okay. And they just came at the worst time ever, each and every time.
Well, and for those of you who aren't aware, everybody in my media group, they like to message me every time a Charger does something goofy, whether it's on the field, off the field. My phone this game between Herbert making a couple questionable decisions, because how the fuck could he believe in anything that was the product that was on the field tonight offensively other than Hampton? Losing Najee Harris is a big deal moving forward. The defense, again, Thule had the first three first half sacks. Jokingly, I predicted he wouldn't have any more, and he didn't. I don't know what it is about this pass rush. I know that there aren't a lot of bodies to go around. Missing Khalil Mack is clearly a big deal, so I shouldn't be too tough on that. And forgive me for leaving that out, but I'm telling you, Buck, I don't have the utmost confidence for the next couple weeks. But when you look at the longevity and the long-term picture regarding this team, how concerned are you when it comes to this team being able to make the playoffs? Or maybe am I just being a little bit too concerned about some shit that is important, but they can overcome over time?
I think we're okay. Nobody wants a loss. We never want a loss. But I think this is going to be one of those losses we're going to look back and we're going to say, okay, we needed to lose that game because we're riding on a high. People's looking at these power rankings and we're talking MVPs. And I even heard some stuff about Derwin James, the defensive player of the year. Chill out. Calm down. This is only week 4. Looking forward, we have Washington next game, right?
Yeah, no idea if Jaden Daniels is going to play.
Have no clue. It could be him or another athletic. Their backup is an athletic quarterback.
Yeah. Hartman, sure.
Yeah, and so,
wait, no, Hartman's not even there. I don't even know who the backup is. Oh, it's Marcus Mariota.
It's Mariota, yeah, and they got
played well last week.
They got waxed today. I watched. They got killed today.
Oh, did you? Yay. Okay.
Yeah. But I'm not worried about the playoffs or I'm not worried about our edge rushers or anything like that because I think with what we have, if we just take it week by week by going by who we're playing. Because sometimes, like I said, it just depends. To me, it depends on the quarterback. Sometimes it doesn't matter. If you got that scrambling guy, that's where I'm like, holy shit, they're gonna get us. They're gonna get us. Then you might have the guy who needs to sit in the pocket. That's where I'm not worried about it. So it's just a week by week thing. But I'm definitely not worried about the playoffs at all.
Well, and we're not even there yet, and maybe it's incredibly premature evaluation, as we like to call it. But listen, it was this is not the way that we want to do a show, but we're not gonna just duck out because the Chargers lost. I was really glad that Buck joined me tonight. We don't need to yak in y'all's ears too much longer. What I want to do is I want to close with this: is that 10 guy is pretty special.
Oh yeah.
And regardless of Buck, they may call up everybody in our group chat to see if they can play O-line. And AD may have to fly across the fucking pond. I don't fucking know. But
hey, I'm ready to put him in a Lad McConkey helmet because god damn, bro.
Yeah, Lad had a tough game. That one hurt my feelings.
Tired of seeing him getting hit.
It was Lad had one of those games. The first 2 balls his way, he dropped that should have been catches. So for me, we talked about it 2 shows ago. No, it was 1 show ago. It was actually the last show. Excuse me. Lad was the man last year, especially in the playoffs, falling in that top 3 ever of all time for playoff receiving yards. And then this year he's watching Keenan and QJ do what they're doing and less targets and less yards and probably not the happiest guy. But what I don't want to see is, regardless of whether or not I'm right or wrong on that, he's still got to catch that ball.
Got to catch it because they're going to call his number. They're going to keep calling his number. You just got to be ready.
Herbert trusts him. The thing is I feel like when they brought Keenan Allen in, and though everybody and their dog was like, oh, they're going to use Keenan and Ladd on the same offense, and we made fun of all those people, and they were wrong and we're right, and I'm glad that we are who we are. Yes, that's for all y'all out there. But anyway, the Ladd thing, what I don't want to see it do is manifest itself in a way that Ladd's like, hold on a second.
Yeah.
I really need to get this ball in clutch moments because of who I am and what I did do in that Houston game. But I don't know that that's going to be a problem. I really do feel like this Chargers offense, this Chargers defense, this Chargers special teams, this entire organization is a little bit different than it used to be. Buck, any concerns about dissension among the wide receiver group moving forward?
No, as long as we got 10 back there, it's not going to let it happen.
Yeah.
If you look at the numbers, he's distributing the ball. It's just you got to catch it. That's it. Yeah. It's not like he's shutting anyone out or icing anyone out. He's throwing it to the open guy, and you just have to catch it. Even if you're not open, you get your hands on it, you catch the damn ball.
When did you start to first get worried about this game when it comes to quarter time and whatever?
No, I was worried after the Giants touchdown.
Yeah.
It was early. It was early because you could feel the energy of the stadium. You could see what was happening, and also you could see their strength was going head to head with our weakness, and that's what beat us. Their strength, you've been saying this, is their defensive line.
Yeah,
We
man. But it's
O-line.
their pass rush. And
Yeah.
what frustrated me is I'm not saying that this should have been a Bo Schembechler run offense where it's 3 yards in a cloud of dust, but in the Chargers, obviously, well, at least from tonight's game, they really only buy into Hampton as a guy who can get the formidable yards with what they have now that Harris is out. And they did go to the pass a lot more than I expected them to. That being said, listen, if you're going to pay $52.5 million a year, put the ball in his hands. I want him to be the guy who has the ball in his hands to win the game. I look at this run game, and I'm a little curious to see how it is going to be manufactured and put together moving forward, because my confidence is actually in 8, Omari Hampton running the ball. It's not to say that I don't expect 10 to be fine moving forward. I just feel like with these injuries along the offensive line, I do not trust a bunch of vagabonds, if you will, to protect 10 as he backpedals to try to find somebody moving forward. That being said, let me get some Roots in there. Let me get some angry guys. Let me get some of these big dogs that aren't afraid to go run block. And let's get Hampton in there. Let's get Haskins. Listen, y'all put him on the squad. We know that he does a lot of things that coaches like, but let's have him be a part of the offense if he's really going to do that. Kamani Vidal, maybe you can catch a swing pass every now and then. I'll try to figure him out eventually. 3-1, lost to the Giants, not what we expected. Your biggest concern moving forward, and do you expect there to be any major trades within the next week or two?
My biggest concern,
regarding the Chargers, of course.
Yeah, my biggest concern is when Harbaugh said he wanted to make sure that he gets Herbert to the Hall of Fame, that he wasn't just speaking about stats, because it kind of looks like that if you watch a game like this where you're looking at, I want to get Herbert his stats. To get to the Hall of Fame, you got to win. Just win. I don't care how, just win. And that goes to letting Hampton do his thing.
Hey.
At the end of the day, that win is way more valuable than stats. That's the one thing I have to say. And as far as trades,
if you were like, hey, I got to upgrade this spot, or I hope they would take an eye on this spot.
I heard one, but before this game, I heard one. But after this game, I don't want it. I heard some rumblings about us trying to get Alvin Kamara. I heard that. After this game, fuck no. I don't want it. Leave him where he's at. He's an aging, not saying he's not productive and he's not.
I love AK. Hey, hold up. I love AK.
But I like what we have with Hampton. If we do any type of trading, I don't want it to be for someone to take touches from him in the backfield.
Let me go out of bounds here and inbounds and in the hashes and outside the hashes and all this shit. The reason that I like Hampton is he has no fucking clue, and I saw this in every game I watched him. He has no idea how fucking good he is.
Yep.
He has no fucking clue. Yep. Every play I watched him have where he displayed nothing but greatness. I'm talking highlight plays. I'm talking, horrible plays. He felt surprised. Yep. The guy is humble. The guy is hungry. And we'll see how that manifests itself in his career moving forward. But there aren't a lot of times that your favorite as a draft wannabe prognosticator, that your favorite player goes to your favorite team in the draft class. And he's just getting started. This guy can do everything. By the way, he stonewalled a couple guys in pass pro throughout this season already, just in this first month. Chargers fall to the Giants 21-18 in a game that we did not necessarily expect to find that type of an outcome. Buck D, before I tell people where they can find me, let everybody know where they can find you, because let me tell you, he's not just a big, huge Chargers fan and Chargers aficionado. He's also a hilarious comedian. Tell him where you're doing your shit. Please share your the opportunity with folks to be able to hear what you have going on.
Actually, you know what? I will be at the Laugh Factory the weekend that we play the Colts. I'll be there Friday, and I'm going to the game that Sunday. So I've already got my ticket. So that's
I want every video and anything you can get.
I got you, man. And you guys,
I want you to give me one of these and say, I'm here, Booga.
I got you. I got you.
I need all of it. Have some people make fun of me in the background. It'd be great.
You guys can check me out. I'm all on social media. You can look up Robert Gibson, Gipson. You can look up Buck_Dangerous. That's across all platforms. And you can also go to my website, robertbuckdgibson.com.
Listen, guys, it's not the outcome that we were hoping nor expecting. But that being said, I really hope it actually turns out to be for the better. You're a month into the season. Losing to a team that I would imagine not too many people thought they would lose to can be good for the soul. It can turn out to be good as long as they find a way to adapt to the fact that this offensive line and several portions of this team are about to look a lot of different. My name's Booga Peters. This is Bull Blitz Uncut. Chargers lose 21-18 to the New York Giants. It's almost like going to Brazil and then Vegas, and then home to Los Angeles, and then hey, we're gonna go out here. It's almost like that's kind of hard to do when you do all that traveling. But the Chargers always seem to lead the league in those travel yards. I'm Booga Peters. This is Bull Blitz Uncut. We're out. We'll hear from you soon because I know that y'all have something to say. We're not giving you guys shit until you start tuning in. Appreciate y'all. Take care. I'm not doing it.
No.